Prime Minister Shri Narendra Damodar Das Modi.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी
This is the story of a once-in-a-generation life. Yes, the real-life story of a tea seller who became the most favored Prime Minister of India, who, with his true love for the nation, supported by his extraordinary brilliance, became in every sense a true leader. Narendra Modi's inspiring life journey to the office of the Prime Minister of India began in the bylanes of Vadnagar, a small town in northern Gujarat's Mehsana district, which is 75 kilometers from Gandhinagar, the capital city of Gujarat. Narendra Modi was born on 17th of September 1950. He was the third of six children born to Damodar Das Mulchand Modi and Hiraben Modi. His family was of humble origins and modest means. Narendra Modi's father, Damodar Das, earned his living from a tea stall that was set up at the Vadnagar railway station. Modi's family belonged to the Mod, Ganchi, Teli, the oil presser community, which is categorized by the Government of India under other backward classes. OBC. Modi studied from class 1 to class 5 at the Vadnagar Prathamik Kumar Shala number 1. Then he studied till class 11 at Sri Bhagavatacharya Narayanacharya High School, also known as BN High School, a co-ed Gujarati medium school right next to the Vadnagar railway station. A retired teacher who had taught Modi in school described him as an average student but a very keen debater with an interest in theatre. According to Ras Behari Maniar, a teacher at BN High School in the 1960s, Modi's strong points have been oratory, reading, and his sharp memory. When Modi was 8 years old, he discovered the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS) and began attending its local shakas or the training sessions. It was during this time he attended an RSS meeting by Lakshman Rao Inamdar, popularly known as Vakil Saab, who inducts him as a Bal Swayamsevak or a junior cadet in RSS. During his school days, Modi used to help his father, who sold tea at the Vadnagar railway station. Modi would take tea in a kettle to sell it to train passengers. The price of one cup at that time was one anna. As a child, Narendra Modi dreamt of serving in the Indian Army. He wanted to study at the Sainik school located nearby Jamnagar, but could not join because there was no money to pay the fee. Still, dedicated to serving the nation, he was part of the National Cadet Corps, where his inner activists got a chance to serve and protect. In 1963, when Narendra Modi was just 13 years of age, in a custom traditional to his caste, his family arranged a betrothal to a girl, Jashodaben Chimanlal Modi, leading to their marriage when they were in their late teens. When he was in the ninth standard in BN High School, Vadnagar, he had beautifully played the role of a 19th century chieftain, Jogidas Kuman, in a school play. He also happened to enact a play about the Green Revolution later during his college days. In fact, in 1963, he performed a mono act called Pilu Fool that dealt with the plight of a Dalit woman and her ill son. The act displayed Modi's sympathy for the oppressed as he too belonged to the Ganchis, a backward community. Narendra Modi always had the utmost zeal and enthusiasm to serve and help the people in need. As a young boy, he voluntarily offered his services to the soldiers at the Mehsana railway station during the 1965 Indo-Pak War. He also served the affected people during the 1967 Gujarat floods, where Modi was very active in being of help during such crises. He completed his higher secondary education in 1967 from BN High School, Vadnagar. Keeping with the old orthodox tradition of child marriages, his marriage to Jashodaben was forced on young Narendra immediately after his schooling by his parents while he was still a teenager. The formal marriage held was reduced to only a formality because Narendra had renounced his home during those days and walked out of the marriage soon after it was solemnized. The resulting familial tensions contributed to his decision to leave home. For 2 years, he traveled across the expansive landscape of India, exploring. This decision changed the course of his life as during his travel he came across many cultures in our great country and met many a different people. It was during this period when he also visited the Himalayas and lived as a sannyasi with the yogic sadhus. These travels truly marked a lasting impression on the young Modi. When he returned home sometime in the late 1969 or early 1970, he was a changed man, but with a clear aim of what he wanted to achieve in life. He stayed at home for one day and a night and then left again for Ahmedabad to join the RSS, where he stayed and worked as a manager in his uncle's canteen at the Gujarat State Road Transport Corporation. It was here that he re-established his contact with Lakshman Rao Inamdar, popularly known as Vakil Saab, then based at Hedgewar Bhavan, the RSS headquarters in the city. Soon enough, Vakil Saab guided Modi to visit the Indian capital in 1971 and join an ongoing satyagraha to go for liberating Bangladesh. This was Modi's first political act for which he landed in the Tihar jail. This has been cited as the reason for Inamdar electing to mentor him. On the advice of Vakil Saab, Modi stopped working for his uncle and moved to Hedgewar Bhavan. He woke up at the crack of dawn, made tea for the pracharaks, swept the entire complex, then just a single-storied building, and washed his mentor's clothes. This routine continued for a year. In 1972, Vakil Saab formally inducted Narendra Bhai, as he called him, into RSS as a pracharak. He started working very actively with the utmost sincerity. In keeping with the RSS ideals, which requires a pracharak to maintain a distance from family members, Narendra Modi started cutting himself off in 1971 itself, focusing more on his work with the Sangh and leading a celibate life. Modi became an inevitable part of the Hedgewar Bhavan within no time. By 1974, he had become the go-to man when something needed done. Modi attended and assisted visitors, oversaw the entire office work, transportation, as well as meetings of the party. He handled everything very efficiently. By now, RSS in Gujarat had interlocked with Navanirman movement, a youth movement against the economic crisis and rampant corruption in public life. Narendra Modi actively played a very crucial role in the Navanirman movement. It was in 1975 when the emergency was declared. Modi was appointed General Secretary of the Gujarat Lok Sangharsh Samiti, an RSS committee coordinating opposition to the emergency in Gujarat. Shortly afterwards, RSS was banned and the police swooped down on its activities across the country. Modi used two disguises, one of a Sikh gentleman and another of a sannyasi, in order to evade arrest. Narendra Modi's job during the emergency was to serve as a connector between the top leaders, circulate banned literature, build a statewide network of supporters providing safe havens and financial support, take leaders such as George Fernandez to safe houses, organize meetings that escape the prying eyes of the police, ferrying proscribed literature, and make a network with diverse anti-emergency groups. Modi's underground activities during the emergency helped him grow his stature as a leader. By the time emergency was lifted in 1977, Modi's vision had widened and completely outgrown from that of an obscure pracharak. He now was a name to be reckoned with in the RSS circles. In 1978, Modi received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from the School of Open Learning at the University of Delhi. In 1979, Modi was sent to Delhi again, this time to coordinate documentation of RSS resistance during the dark months of emergency. Thereafter, Modi was promoted to Vadodara, initially as a Vibhag Pracharak and later promoted to Sambhag Pracharak in charge of Nadiad, Dang and Panchmahal districts. The one-room office with a bed laid in a corner of the building called Keshav Niketan in Shastripol area was Narendra Modi's first camp in Vadodara. In 1983, he received a Master of Arts degree in Political Science from Gujarat University, graduating with a first class. In 1985, he was assigned by the RSS to the BJP. After L.K. Advani became the president of BJP, the RSS decided to place its members in important positions within the BJP. Modi's efficient and successful handling of the Ahmedabad municipal elections in 1987 led to his selection for this role, and Modi was elected organizational secretary of the BJP's Gujarat unit later in 1987. Since then, there has been no looking back for him, as he won election after election and even helped others win elections for the BJP. Modi rose within the party and was named a member of the BJP's National Election Committee in 1990, helping organize LK Advani's Ram Rath Yatra in 1990. He played a key role in Advani's Rath Yatra from Somnath to Ayodhya. The Rath Yatra brought the BJP to the forefront of national politics. Through 1990-91, Modi suggested to LK Advani that he contest the Lok Sabha elections from Gandhinagar. When Advani contested, Modi was the captain of the entire process. After the elections, the constituency was nurtured after by Modi in the absence of Advani being a national leader. He had been deputed by the RSS to assist Advaniji in his party work. In 1991, the then BJP president, Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, decided to embark on an Ekta Yatra to emphasize on the party's concerns about national unity and integrity. The Yatra would begin from Kanyakumari, the place where Swami Vivekananda found the purpose of life, and end with the hoisting of the tricolour at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. The task of preparing for the Yatra laid on the shoulders of Narendra Modi, keeping in mind his well-established organizational skills. The Yatra was a tremendous success, and after overcoming many hurdles, the tricolour was finally unfurled in Srinagar on the 26th of January 1992. The success of the Yatra was a milestone for Sri Narendra Modi, whose organizational skills proved to be invaluable as the Yatra progressed. In 1993, Narendra Modi attended a 3-month training program in the United States on image management and public relations. Modi is credited to bringing up BJP in Gujarat, and it was through his campaigning skills that the BJP won Gujarat in the 1995 assembly elections. The BJP's Keshubai Patel won the assembly elections in 1995 thanks to Modi's shrewd eye for plucking out local candidates and grassroots campaigning skills. In November 1995, Modi was elected as the BJP National Secretary and transferred to New Delhi, where he assumed the responsibility for the party activities in Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. Modi's strategy was also credited as key to the BJP winning an overall majority in the 1998 Gujarat Assembly elections, and he was then promoted to BJP General Secretary organization in May of that year and held the position till October 2001. It was a prestigious party post held by many stalwarts. When the earthquake struck Kutch in Gujarat on the 26th of January 2001, while everyone was rushing as far away as possible from the region, one man was desperate to head to ground zero to be among the people and help. It was Modi, then a General Secretary of the BJP. Later that year, when he took over as Chief Minister, his top priority was rebuilding Kutch. Nobody then would have imagined that in less than a decade, Kutch would make its way to being one of India's most prosperous and progressive districts. In September 2001, Modi got a call on his cell phone while he was at a crematorium in Delhi mourning a photographer friend who had died in an air crash, the very crash that killed Congress leader Madhav Rao Sindhya. On the other end of the call was Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee inviting Modi for an evening meeting. When Modi reached his residence, Vajpayee reportedly told him that he had put on a lot of weight being on a diet of Punjabi food. He said, "You should go to Gujarat and have Gujju food," before disclosing that he had to take over the reins of Gujarat from Keshubai Patel. His brief was simple: win the ensuing 2002 Gujarat Assembly elections. And on 3rd of October 2001, Narendra Modi replaced Keshubai Patel as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. When Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat for the first time, his mother said, "Beta, kadi lunch na lays," meaning, "Son, never take a bribe." It is a woman who has lived her entire life without any material comforts during such an abundant and celebratory time, asking her son not to take a bribe. In the 2002 elections, BJP won 127 seats in the 182-member assembly, and Modi became the chief minister for a second term. In 2007, Modi was elected chief minister of Gujarat for the third time. It was 2010, when Modi was the chief minister of Gujarat, that the United Nations awarded Gujarat as the second best state in the world. In 2011, Modi undertook the Sadbhavna Yatra, a roadshow throughout Gujarat to promote social harmony. In its issue dated 26 March 2012, the Asian edition of the Time magazine had Narendra Modi on its cover page with a story titled Modi Means Business. He became a darling of India's industrialists, and the Gujarat model became an example of development and industrialization. In the 2012 assembly elections, the BJP, led by Narendra Modi, won 116 seats out of the total 182 seats, while INC, or the Indian National Congress, won just 60. Modi was sworn in as the CM of Gujarat for the fourth consecutive time on the 26th of December 2012. On 9th of June 2013, Modi was chosen to head the BJP's campaign in the general elections due in 2014, a position that could make him the party's candidate for Prime Minister. The 2014 general elections was completely centered around Modi, who was all over the posters, television campaigns, pamphlets, and hoardings of the BJP as the slogan "Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar" resonated across the nation. Modi's charisma and people's confidence in him as a man of development without corruption gave the much expected dividend to BJP by winning them 282 seats in the Lok Sabha polls, thus paving way for Modi to become the Prime Minister of India. Narendra Modi entered parliament and touched his forehead to the hallowed ground before taking charge of the highest office in India. He was the first Prime Minister to do so. Many new developmental projects could be introduced and implemented during the 2014 to 19 regime of Narendra Modi. Ayushman Bharat Insurance Scheme, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, the Rural Electrification Project, Ujjwala Yojana Scheme, the Swachh Bharat Mission, Mudra Loans, digital transfer of subsidies were some of the most successful schemes. The 2019 general elections were once again in favor of the Modi Sarkar. After a grueling election campaign and a staggering 7-phase election, Modi again returned as the Prime Minister with a sweeping majority. BJP alone had bagged 303 seats, while the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance got a whopping 353 seats in the 543-member parliament. A week after registering a landslide victory in the electoral battle, Narendra Modi took oath as the Prime Minister of India for a second term in the presence of some 800 delegates from India and abroad on the 30th of May 2019. Several historic and transformative decisions have been taken within a few months of its accession. One nation, one flag, one constitution became a reality under the Modi government when the bill to abrogate Article 370 was passed by the parliament. The passage of the Triple Talaq bill had delivered gender justice to the Muslim women. Modi once said that coming from a humble background, he would have apparently been happy being a sannyasi or would have loved to serve in the army. Harish Patel, one of Modi's childhood friends who was very good in astrology, even at that very young age, had predicted that Modi would become a leader of national stature. Patel is now a hermit in the Himalayas. Modi argued with Patel in disbelief. How can you say such a thing? I am a poor tea seller. How can I become a national leader? He is the first Prime Minister of India who was born in independent India, that is post August 15, 1947. He is also the first Indian Prime Minister whose mother was alive when he took office. Even after reaching the summit of fame and success, Modi has never put cigarette, liquor or any such addictions on hand. Modi is a pure vegetarian. Not only this, he is a great devotee of time and only takes about 4 hours of sleep. His day starts at 5:30 in the morning and regularly performs yoga in order to keep himself fit. Also, he is such a workaholic that he has never taken a single holiday. He also doesn't send any portion of his salary back home. In fact, his mother gives him 1 rupee and 25 paise for good luck whenever they meet. His colorful designer clothes have always been in the news, though Modi recently clarified that he designs his clothes himself. Even then, the same cannot be said about his monogram suit, which some say costs over 10 lakh rupees. Yes, the very suit that he wore during US President Barack Obama's New Delhi visit. It was in fact a gift received by him and was later auctioned for rupees 4.31 crores to raise fund for his Clean Ganga project. Whether as the Chief Minister of Gujarat or as the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi never shared his official residence with any of his family members, not even his mother. In fact, the only time when a family member was in his official residence was when his mother visited him for a week, just a week, in 2016. Members of both the families of Modi and Jashodaben say that the couple never consummated the marriage. Jashodaben still lives with her brother and has devoted herself to spirituality after retiring as a primary school teacher. In fact, Narendra Modi did not officially acknowledge this marriage until 2014, when it was in the poll affidavit he filed on April 9th, 2014, that he named Jashoda Ben as his wife for the first time. For nearly 40 years, Modi's wife Jashoda Ben worked as a teacher in a primary school in the Wadnam district's Rajoshana village. Modi has five siblings. His eldest brother, Sombhai Damodar Das Modi, was a government employee. Now he runs an old age home in Vadnagar. His second brother, Amrutbhai Damodar Das Modi, retired as a fitter for a private company. His younger brother, Prahladbhai Damodar Das Modi, is the owner of a fair price shop in Ahmedabad. His sister, Vasanti Ben, is married to Hasmukh Bhai Modi, who works with the LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. Modi's youngest brother, Pankaj Modi, works as an officer in the Gujarat Information Department. Modi's mother stays with Pankaj Bhai in Gandhinagar. Amit Shah is his close confidant. In the last many years, not a day has gone by when the two men have not met or spoken to each other over the phone. Narendra Modi is in fact a great patron of carrying one's roots wherever they go, and it is proven by the way he always puts his signature, whether it is in a casual occasion or an official document. Modi's life is highly inspiring. As he has said many times, each of us has a natural instinct to rise like a flame of the lamp. Let's nurture this instinct.